So here we have top sneaker releases for June. This is one of those ones where May was so packed with releases. June seems to be a bit more mellowed out and probably good for the wallet. And the first one that's on the release schedule is Yeezy releases. So even though I'm covering June, some of this is May as well, because these came in quite late. Today I'm recording this as the 27th of May, but I'm not even sure if these are actually going to be released. But obviously the rumour mill is saying that these will be released. But here's the sort of round of Yeezy releases. I think these will be limited by a lot. You know, a lot of these styles and colourways, I don't think there'll be a full size run of these. I think it's mainly things like 350 V2s where they'll probably have like full size runs on a lot of models. But some of the ones that are sort of up and coming, such as on the May 27th, and even though this is not June, there's a bunch of sort of silhouettes in here, but I imagine most of these are sort of leftovers, apart from say the Tactical Boot 500. That's a new release, so I'd imagine that's got a full size run. But I think some of these other ones where, I don't know, you got the Dazzling Blues 350 V2s for example, or the Yeezy 700s, I think some of those will be limited. And obviously things like the Yeezy Slide Azure, I think they would have a full size run because they did have quite a big production, and I don't think they sold out. And same with like the sort of Slate Marine pair. But some of the other ones like the ochre colour for, you know, their slides, or the foam runners, I feel like those will be sort of more on the limited side. And then on June the 3rd, you've got basically another pair, which is the boots. So the Yeezy boots, I think those look really nice, and again I think they will be limited, and same with all the other sort of releases on this particular image. It seems like there's a lot of coming out, but like I say, I think they'll be all limited. But if I'm honest, I'm not really that keen on too many of the Yeezys because I have quite a few now in my collection, so I'm not really like on the lookout for any Yeezys really, apart from say the boot. And also I suppose the only other one that I may be interested in is getting a Yeezy slide in the bone colour and maybe the ochre colour, but apart from that, not really fussed. And then on June the 4th, you've got the Cinder, and this is one of those ones where I've got a pair of these, so I'm kind of good on that. And I think the pure slides, like I said, I think they're bone slides here, they're worth grabbing, and obviously the 350 zebras. And then you got the blue tint zebras as well, but that won't be as popular as the standard zebras. But again, I think they'll still be sort of limited in my opinion. And then you've got the Pirate Blacks, which I imagine is probably leftover stock. And the Yeezy Knit Runner boot, which is a strange one for me. I think that's a bit too out there for even for me, in all honesty. And then on June the 10th, you've got a plethora of foam runners and slides. A lot of these I have, I suppose, or same sort of colourways, so I'm good on that. I've reviewed the Foam Runner Granite. Again, that was a completely, well, not completely, but it's a bit of a different shape to the standard foam runners, and in all honesty, I think that one I'd probably give a miss because it just doesn't look, you know, in terms of how a foam runner should look. But the rest are sort of good to go. I think the only one I'd be interested on here is probably the MX Carbon, because I don't have a pair of those. And then on June the 11th, we've got the Yeezy Foam Runner, which I believe is the sand version, or maybe I can't remember because it's the white colorway. But this one in particular is something that I'd like to grab, but I still think it'll be limited. And then you've got the Turtle Doves, which is obviously a classic, but for me, I'm not too much of a fan of those in all honesty. And then to cap it off on the 13th, there's a bunch of other Yeezy releases. Obviously the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner, which is a classic, but I still think this is sort of leftover stock from last year, in my opinion. And then you've got the Foam Runner, can't remember, might be Desert Sand actually, and these 450 slides. The 450 slides, they didn't release here in the EU, UK, but I would be after a pair if they do release over here, but I don't think they will. But if they do, then I'd probably want to pick these up because I think they look quite interesting to me. And foam runners as well. So moving on to the Nike releases, I see the first pair that I think is quite nice actually. This is a Sabrina 2 Court Vision, it's called, and it's in this purple colorway. This is probably not the colorway that I would look to grab, but it's still a nice looking silhouette compared to some of the other basketball sneakers that are released, especially on the men's side, such as the Tatum 2, for example. It doesn't look that nice, and this one, looks really nice and for a basketball trainer, and especially like a women's one as well. So it's quite cool. I think it's just a colorway for me. It's probably not something that I'd be interested in. And then we have the ACG Rufus Triple Black. I've got the limestone color way, which I'll be doing a review on in the next sort of week or two, and this one's in the triple black, which is a nice pair, and I'd give that a sort of 4 out of 5. I think they're cool for the price, and also quite sort of comfortable on foot and sort of lightweight as well, surprisingly, considering it's a chunky shoe. And then we have the Zoom Pegasus 41. So this is continuing on the lineage of Pegasus. And this one, I think it looks nice as well. It's a 4 out of 5. I think it's still using the previous sort of more Zoom technology and React, as far as I know. But I was surprised that they haven't incorporated ZoomX into this. But it's one of those ones where I think it might be the same as sort of the previous Pegasus 40. And I thought these were releasing in May, but it seems like maybe they got pushed back, or depending on the region. But the Kobe 4 Girl Dad, I think it looks nice as well, and I think Nike seem to be on the bi-coastal bandwagon in terms of colorway, and I've seen quite a few sneakers releasing in this green sort of colorway, but I've got quite a few green sneakers, so I don't really need this particular pair. But obviously, if it's going to be on the sneakers app, then I'll probably just go for it anyway. And with the New Balance, I think the 1500 made in England, there's not really a release date on these. That's typically New Balance seem to release their sneakers probably like a week or two in advance in terms of their sort of calendar. But I know these are supposed to be coming out in June at some point. And it's a neutral colorway. It looks really nice in my opinion, and I think out of the sort of 1500 models that I've seen, I actually like this particular colorway. It looks really nice, but it's just not a very comfortable sneaker, and it kind of reminds me of, I suppose, an Air Max 1 as well, and I'd rather be wearing a pair of Air Max 1s. But I think if I could pick them up on sale, I'd probably want to sort of try them again. And then you got the New Balance 990 V4. And this is in the highlight colour, which is quite a vibrant colour. It's a good one for summer, and I'm a fan of the 990 V4s. And I think when I reviewed a couple of pairs, I gave the Comfort a 4 out of 5, but when I've been wearing them more, I actually think they're a really nice silhouette, and I think it's actually probably one of the more comfortable 990s. So in my opinion, I'd probably up the Comfort to a 5 actually. I think they are very, very comfortable on foot, similar to a Vomero actually. And with their Crocs releases, they were going to be having on June the 6th the Naruto X Crocs clog. So these I thought were mentioned because they look a little bit unusual, but not my cup of tea, but different to what's normally been released. And then we have the Jordan releases. So the first one up is the Air Jordan 1 in the metallic silver colorway. And this one releases on June the 1st, and much of a muchness for me. It's not really something that I'd be interested in. And it seems to be sort of quite a loud colorway, but this one's been labelled as a men's colour as well, but not for me. It's one of those ones, I don't really like shiny sneakers too much. And then you got the this one came out of nowhere really. It's called the Opium Paris Jordan Airship Hornets, and to me it looks quite sort of average in all honesty. Not something that I'd be too interested in. And then we have the Jordan 6 Reverse Oreo, and this one is a nice sneaker. I think it's one of those ones, if you're in the market for a Jordan 6, and you couldn't go wrong with this because it's just predominantly black and white. And then we have the Air Jordan 1 Low in the OG Gorge Green colour. So this one is one of those ones where I think the red on there is not really for me. I think they should have just kept it quite simple and just used the red colour blocking without the red and just had it black and green, in my opinion. I think the red just throws it off for me. And then we have the Nina Chanel Abney Air Jordan 3. I think initially when I saw the pictures of these, I thought they looked nice. And, it's in, again, the bi-coastal colourway. But for me, I don't know, there's something about them that I'm not too much of a fan of. They look nice, and maybe if I see them, I suppose, in person, I might change my mind. But at the moment, it seems nice, but not like a must-have for me. And then on the 20th, we've got the Air Jordan Low, 11 Low in Legend Pink. And this is a women's release. And to me, I'm not a fan of Jordan 11s anyway, and this one in particular, obviously being in sort of a pink colour, is not something I'd be grabbing. And then we've got the Air Jordan 13 June Red. So these are, I always find Jordan 13s to be comfortable on foot. But for me, this colourway just misses really. I just don't think it's something for me. It just feels like a bit of an odd one, in all honesty. And then I've reviewed these already. It's the Jordan 1 High 85 Metallic Burgundy. And it's a nice pair. It's, the quality on this is really nice, and the finish is really nice for being an 85 cut, so it is more on the expensive side. But if you're looking for a burgundy pair of Jordans, sort of mainly in white colour, then this is a good pair to grab. And the metallic hits on it aren't as bad as what you'd normally see on trainers. So I think with this one, the metallic works quite well, and it's not too bright. And then we've got the Jordan Spizike Low, which is in this sort of obsidian colourway, which I think is quite nice actually. And that kind of rounds up the sneaker releases for June. So not too many, and thankfully you can sort of save a bit on the wallet. And there's a couple of releases here and there, but other than that, I just expect a New Balance to sort of drop, a pair here and there, and which I might be interested in. But other than that, a quiet month, which is a good thing.